What's going on, everybody? Today is Monday, May 6th, 2024. We are back once again to discuss Survivor 46, this time episode 10, which was called Run the Red Light. Kyle, I just have to ask, because I saw you backstage repeatedly saying, this is whack, or something like that. I'm just dying to know what it was about.
I was saying you guys are whack because I was doing something that I thought was very humorous. I go back to the window.
I wasn't looking. Oh, no.
Yeah, nobody was looking. You were like, Dom was like looking around. Gina had her head down. I was like, boo, you missed my funny.
James texted me, I'm sorry, it's his fault. Blame James.
Whack.
All right. Now, of course, my name is John Dudvey Hussein, standing still, my queen, Jem. I'm joined, as always, by my fellow tribe mates, Mr. Kyle Petty and Miss Gina Morgino. We are, sadly, missing Mikey on this Monwan Monday. So, you know, it's a little bit of a sad Monwan Monday without Mikey, but we're going to push through. We're still going to have a good time. We're Strat Chat, your favorite reality TV podcast. Find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod. We're out there on all the social media platforms. So go take a look, find us, throw us a like, a comment, subscription, a follow. You know, head over to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave us a really nice review. We'd really appreciate it. You know, 5 stars. Give them to us. All right. Let's get into this episode.
It looked like there were like 4 or 5 reviews on Spotify, and like, I don't know how to get to them. Anybody know?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you read them?
Well, not all of them have comments. Like sometimes you can just like
so maybe there's just ratings,
stars. Yeah.
not all actual reviews. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that would make some sense.
Hopefully they're good reviews at least.
We got 5 stars, so I mean, you know, I don't think.
All right. Well, that's good. All right, so let's get into this episode. Obviously, last time that we talked, we had lost Hunter, right? He was blindsided, left with an idol in his pocket. And we had something similar happen in this week's episode with Tiffany leaving, also by blindside with an idol in her pocket.
Big yikes.
Yeah. This was a tough one. I was not happy to see Tiffany go. I really, really like Tiffany. She was one of my favorite people on the whole season. So really bummed to see her go. But a lot happened to get us there. So,
oh boy.
Yeah. So one thing that I'll just mention was one of the first things that we saw after the tribal council was Liz. She was pretty perturbed that she was left out of this split vote. This would not be the first time that Liz was perturbed. Last time, I mean, that Liz would be perturbed in this episode. But obviously there was a lot of chaos going into the last tribal. People wanted to vote Tiffany originally, right? Then she said she was going to play her idol. It got shifted to Hunter. Then he said he had an idol. So people were kind of going crazy. Liz got left out of whatever split was going on with between Q and Hunter, the votes there. But, you know, that was kind of like kind of just smoothed over pretty quickly with explaining that it was done very last minute. There just wasn't enough time to talk to everybody. Now, the first real interesting thing I think that happened in this episode was Maria going down to Q to talk to him, because obviously Q has been public enemy number 1. Everybody's got their sights on Q. He is the target. But Maria is seeing some value in pulling him in and working with him. So what do you think about Maria here and like working to pull in Q where seemingly everyone else is done with him? I don't know. I have another thought about Maria, but I'm just, if you have any thoughts on this first.
It's kind of dicey because, I mean, like, on the one hand, he clearly has no will to be there. He is asked to be sent home multiple times. But on the other hand, that might be worth keeping around, because if you're not gunning to win this thing, sure, I'll have you on my team as a number. Clearly, no one else wants to work with you. You're desperate to work with somebody. So if I can pull you onto my side to just be a number to vote with me when you're clearly not gunning for this and everybody's going to be coming for you anyway. If they clip you, then fine, whatever, you're gone. But as long as you're here, no one wants to work with you. So if I can pull you, it's worth it to me. you know?
It's just that's the thing with Q though. That's so funny to me is that like he keeps throwing himself up there, like just vote me out. Like it's happened multiple times, and he keeps like throwing all this chaos into it. But like I think he still wants to be there. Like I don't think
Like it's crazy too because I've never seen somebody asked to be sent home so many times. Like it's feel like in a very different way. Like obviously Kate was so much more fun about it, but it's like you have this person like please send me out of the game, and everyone's like no. Like it's funny in a situation where it's Kate because she's gonna be like please get me out of here, but like Q, I feel like it's so weird because like he does want to be there, but also all he's gonna do is stress everybody out. They're all gonna complain about how much they don't want him there, and then when push comes to shove, they're like, I don't have to worry about that right now, and then they continue to complain about how much they can't stand it. Like it's so wild when like someone is asking to be sent home and you don't want him there, but you're still going to keep him and complain that he's there. It's always so confusing when the people are asking to go and people don't just send them off.
I don't even know that it's wise for Maria to try to pull him in. Like, if anything, just play the middle with like a Q kind of a situation because he's a little bit too much of a wild card to ever trust that he's actually voting with you anyway. So I'm not really sure that I would want to be making any plans contingent upon clues. And he's maybe a shield in a kind of way like that. Somebody that you can that's a name you can always put up in conversation without it blowing back. But to make a plan based around his vote.
I do hear that, but at the same time, like again, it's not like there's people lining up to include him in their plans at this point. So like
right, but
if someone's willing to work with me in that situation where I know nobody likes me, like I'll probably vote. Even if he is super chaotic, like if he doesn't vote the way that she tells him to, or like vote along with her in this situation where nobody else wants him there, wants to work with him, like he'd be really crazy.
Right, but he's also somebody who just craves that power and thinks he can always get it. So he thinks he's now part of this voting group. He's now going to think that he's not going to see himself at the bottom of that. He's going to like, you're not really here for decision making. You're just here to execute the plan. No, he's going to be wanting to call like chats at the water well and like say like, listen, now we got a new target. Now we got to do this instead. Like, he's not really I don't know. I couldn't think that he would just follow in line. Like, I think a little too much of a liability.
No, yes. I hear that.
I have a question about Maria.
Yikes.
I like Maria a lot.
Yeah, the preface to that.
Yeah, no, I'm like, like, what are you gonna say about my mom?
Well, no. I really like Maria. This is not an original thought of mine. It's just something that I saw on social media a few times. Not saying that this was the overwhelming, conversation that people were having, but I did see some people on social media pointing out that they seemed to be seeing a pattern from Maria and that it doesn't seem like she likes to work with the women. And it stretches back to Sega when Maria and Charlie were playing the middle, and Maria was pretty quick to cut off Jem, had no problem voting out Mariah. Then we get, the tribes start to kind of come together a little bit. We see Venus approach Maria. Maria immediately shuts her down, calls her oblivious, even when Venus would approach her with like plans that they had talked about, right? With Tevin trying to get Soda out and all that. Maria was like so on board with Tevin, not on board with Venus, right? At the same time, if we're talking about isolated players, Venus had been isolated from Nami, right? Maria didn't want anything to do with her. Now you bring Q into this. He's another isolated player. No one wants anything to do with him. Maria's there trying to save his game to take Tiffany out.
Didn't Maria kind of try to like guide Venus though, or am I thinking of somebody else?
I mean,
it seemed to be a bit of a coaching conversation that one time where Venus was like, "What did I say that you didn't like?"
Yeah.
Maria was kind of
because I feel like I remembered some kind of like a motherly situation there.
But it didn't.
But I don't know if anything more came from that though.
Right, and it wasn't like very much like, all right, I'm going to help you, and then we're going to work together in this. It was just like, I don't like the way you approach me. You should do it this way. And then they've never spoken again.
I did think that it was going to lead to something, but then it just didn't. But I did walk away from that. I was like, oh, okay, maybe they're building some new ground here, new foundation.
But so that was just something that I saw out there, that it seems like every opportunity Maria will like cut a girl or say no to working with a girl, where it's like, so you're saying that Q is less toxic for you to work with than Venus? Like, I don't know. And like the fact that you're pulling in Q in order to take out another woman when people are seeing like this other pattern of like, you didn't want to work with the girls in Sega, you refused to work with Venus, but you worked with Tevin and Hunter. Now you're going to work with Q to take out Tiffany. It just feels like it's always a woman that's sort of the victim in whatever scheme Maria's coming up with, and she's doing it like working with all these men. That's just, like I said, it's not something that I even really put together or thought about until I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever noticed that.
Right. And then I was kind of like,
I have no rebuttal.
It sort of makes sense.
And I wonder if there's any strategy behind that. Is that even something that like she's consciously doing, or is it just
right?
She just has an aversion.
Yeah. I don't know.
In a longer game, I mean, you could that's an interesting thing to do, just being the only female. Do you want to be the group of guys that voted out the last guy? Maybe emotional support. Guys wouldn't be as comfortable going to other guys, so you are everyone's person.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this is pure conjecture. Yeah.
But last thing before the reward challenge was we pretty much saw just Kenzie, Maria, and Charlie coming together, talking about pulling in Q to flush out Tiffany's idol and maybe get her out of the game. And then it's so funny because I feel like Mikey all season has been saying, "Where are the reward challenges? Where are the reward challenges?" And now we finally have a good one to talk about, and he's not here. This was just a straight up reward challenge. This was, and it wasn't for fishing gear or anything like that. This was for whoever wins gets to go and take some people with them to the sanctuary. They get to sleep there overnight. They get Applebee's food. They get huge alcoholic beverages.
Which again, like in theory, that sounds so great. If I'm starving, I haven't had real food, I'm like, yeah, Applebee's. That destroyed them. No one felt good that next day. Like, why are you doing this?
No way.
Like mozzarella sticks, spinach dip. Yeah, I would be vomiting on that island.
Well, it's funny because three of the four that went made it to the last 5 of the immunity challenge, but none of them won it. Charlie won immunity, which I'm jumping way ahead now, but Charlie won immunity and he didn't go to reward. So interesting. Very interesting.
I did also appreciate the cheesiness of Jeff going through basically the entire Applebee's menu. Like before we got to this, I was like, "This is like so fantastic."
It was great marketing because all I could think about the entire episode, I was like, "Damn, I could really go for some spin dip right now." Like, I was like,
do I want to try a bourbon burger?
Yeah, I was like, "Good job, Jeff," on that ad read. Right. Proud of you.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, Liz's beloved bourbon burger that no one ate at the reward. All right,
let's talk about that's another thing too. Like, I'm sorry. Maybe you didn't eat the burger. I would have kept that in my heart. You could not waterboard that information out of me in that moment when Liz is sitting right there. There is no way in hell I will lie.
I also wonder how good a burger that size would even be after having not eaten for so long. I mean, it's got to sit in your stomach like a rock. I mean, even now you would not feel so fantastic after eating it. Like, I can't imagine off of just
right. That's what I was saying. I was like, Applebee's hurts my tummy on a normal day. If I've been eating coconuts and sand for the last 18 days, it's not going to sit right.
Right. Yeah.
They're probably taking some big poops out there. What can you say? But for this reward challenge, you had to go over and under some obstacles. You had to get some sandbags. You had to crawl under a net. Then you had to land your sandbag on a very high platform at the very tippy top of this pole. Very difficult, it looked like. But Q took this. Jeff said, "All right, Q, this reward is yours. Bring some friends with you. Bring some friends." He decides to bring Tiffany. Try to, mend some fences here. Decides to bring Maria. She was the only one that checked on him. And then he decided, how about Kenzie? You come along too. Obviously, in the middle of all this, Liz was literally begging. We had learned that there was a connection that Liz had with Applebee's and her daughter and their Wednesday tradition, their ritual. So what did you think when Jeff asked Liz, "How are you feeling?" and she just let it all out.
I actually have a lot of thoughts, but you two go first.
Listen, I get the freak out. I can appreciate that one moment, but the pressuring him to bring her, I had so many issues with. Because first of all, people want to say, "Oh, well, you should feel bad for her. You should feel bad for her. She hasn't eaten." Well, you know what? Tough nookies. Okay, just like you said, this was part of your survivor ritual. You know what this show is. Why would you come on this show with this many allergies and now make it everyone else's problem? Like, that's not fair. For all the same reasons that we say we can't play this game, then maybe you should not. Never mind the fact that she's been going on and on about how Q's got to go. Q's got to go, and vote for him left and right, and like talking about saying his name constantly. And now he's going to bring you on a reward. And how dare you also minimize what this reward is supposed to be for the winner? You know, we don't just win the reward challenge just to be able to go on the reward. You want to be able to have the social agency that having this reward will allot you by now bringing who you want. And it's like, so you've undermined all these things and you should be, because you have allergies. Like, that's completely unfair. But I did think the moment that she flipped out was like very real. I'm sure it is very fucking frustrating to watch other people eat and you're not. I can get that, but it's just not fair to place that on anybody else. All right. You signed up for this.
I agree. I honestly, I didn't have a problem with anybody's behavior at this moment. I had no problems with Q not choosing Liz and then not caring about not choosing her. I didn't care that Liz decided that she needed to freak out and have a breakdown in this moment. I loved that too.
The worst part is I would have taken her though. I would have folded and I would have taken her and I would have been really pissed off the entire time. I'd have been so mad at myself for folding, but there's no way I could have listened to her carry on and just not.
Well, so
right.
I first of all agree with literally everything you said. Like, there's nothing that you said in there that I'm like, actually, no, 100%. However, I think my biggest problem here is more so with production than anything else, because like, yeah, you say, you know, hey Liz, you watch this show, you see what's going down. If you know that that's not right for you, don't come on it. Sure. But production is casting her, knowing that she's not going to be able to eat anything on this island, blah, blah, blah. And now the onus is somehow on the rest of the cast to make sure that Liz eats. That's totally unfair. If I'm playing Survivor, I'm already probably starving, not eating.
I'm going through it.
I'm going through it too. It shouldn't be my job to make sure that somebody else is able to eat when you cast her knowing that, like, hey, the things we have available to you are fish, coconuts, and fruit. You can't eat coconuts or fruit. So I'm sure, like, you see people, you see medical come in and evaluate people all the time and see if they're fit enough to play the game, and they pull people. So how are you going to let somebody who can't eat the majority of foods that are available to them? Like, that's not healthy for her to go on here. And it is a mental toll. Yeah, I don't blame her for that freak out at all, because if I haven't eaten in whatever it is, 4 days, however long it was, I'm going to be pretty hangry too. Like, I'm probably going to throw a shit fit that you didn't pick me to go on the reward too. But
I have no allergies and I'd be acting like that for nothing.
Right. And like, it's not even just like casting production, because Jeff kind of pissed me off on this too, because as Q is making these decisions, Jeff is like, now look, Q, you see, Liz is begging you. She hasn't eaten in days. She can't eat anything on this island. This reward means so much to her. This is such a big deal. All right, who are you going to pick? And it's like, all right, well, you're setting him up to fail, because either he's going to fold and pick her when he doesn't want to, because as you said, this is more a social reward than anything else.
I love it.
But
Put the pressure on Jeff.
But no, I don't like that he made it like, here's all of the reasons why you have to give this to Liz, and now I'm going to throw it over to you, and you're either going to be an asshole or you're going to fold and screw up your game.
I do agree with though, because in that moment you felt like Q did the wrong thing. For a split second, I was like, "Aw," and it's like, "No, wait a minute, no,"
because it's also then like
his responsibility.
He's making these decisions based on going on this reward and having these social interactions, but it also sets him up really poorly socially with everybody else on the tribe that watched him do that.
Yeah,
because if I'm on the island.
Like
If I'm like one of these people like Venus or Ben, who like was never in the running to get chosen and just watched all of this happen, you saw they all went back to camp and they were like, yo, fuck you. What the hell was that about? That's so messed up that he did that. Like, you now screwed his social game.
I don't know. I think they would have felt that way even if Jeff hadn't said anything, though, just based on Liz's reaction. I don't think that the cast there, they got to see everything.
Sure, but it didn't help.
Like someone in the comments here too, mentioned, we didn't see on the edit that Maria and Kenzie both offered to swap with Liz, and Q said no. And like, I don't think that Jeff saying anything to them played anything into this. Everybody's wanted
like,
Q out.
It's not their responsibility to have to make sure that Liz is eating.
No, it's not their responsibility. I mean,
you either have to make sure that she has the same access to food as everybody else, or I'm sorry, this show isn't for you. We can't bring you on. Sorry, you have too many restrictions.
No, absolutely.
It's not going to work.
I think we saw examples of both of that. Everybody's still able to make their own decisions. The pressure can be out there.
Kyle, why are you giggling?
Liz is freaking out, but everybody's still able to make their own decisions. Maria and Kenzie said, I'll switch with you if you want. Q said, screw that. No. Maria and Kenzie had a choice. They tried to switch. Q had a choice too. He said, no, this is what I want. This is my reward. I got it. I thought this was fantastic on every level. It's no secret that Liz is freaking out that she can't have food. She can hear it. Everybody can see it. Everybody's aware of it just because Jeff brings some extra attention to it. Like, look, Liz is clearly upset. Like, I don't think that, like, he's just narrating what's happening in the moment. To me, I thought that everything that happened here was just entertaining to me. I thought that this was good. This is what reality TV is supposed to be. I enjoyed it. The only thing I'm upset about is that we didn't see Maria and Kenzie try to offer, and the awkwardness of Liz being like, really, you'll switch? And Q being like, hell no. Like, I wish we got that also. But I didn't think anything that Jeff did was bad. Honestly, I enjoyed everything.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, production also should not keep people like her off the show, because there's other people that do have allergies that could have handled this moment better. Like, this is just, this is.
But it's not about her outburst. It's about the fact that she didn't eat for days. Like, why are you putting somebody in that position?
Well, I will say something else about this, because I've also seen on Twitter a lot of people saying that apparently prior to merge, part of the reason that Liz was able to stay fed was because Tevin and Soda were doing fishing. They were catching her crabs. Obviously, Liz has wanted to be the main person seen as pulling off those Soda and Tevin moves. So in a way, she keeps saying, I don't know if you've caught it, but she keeps specifically saying, since merge, I've had 0 calories since merge. So when she was with her tribe, she was facing the same allergies, but was being fed since merge when all these people that she has had a hand in sending out. So in a way, yeah, like, she now is at a disadvantage food wise, but in a way she's responsible for that. So it's like, she's playing the game, she's making these moves, and now she's eating less. And like, all right, well, it's getting her further in the game, but she's hungry. I mean, I don't know. What do you want me to say?
Getting further in the game.
As if I'm attacking him. So what do you want me to say? Yeah. As if I was like, John, what the hell?
Right. And to what I had, yes. So you made these big moves, and you got the cooks out. Great. The cooks are out of the kitchen. Haha. But then you should have taken that time to learn how to fish. Go get your own food. All right. Go get your own crabs. Like, so you're just sitting there just reaping the benefits of all this, but you didn't actually teach yourself anything. Fault's on you twice.
Right. But yeah, so hold on. I'm going to cough.
I think it's interesting that Frank has this comment here that Liz in her preseason interviews had highlighted as an advantage to have so many allergies because in her real life, she's adapted to eating.
Kyle.
Minimally That is so hysterical when you think of how she flipped out over this Applebee's. Like, that is so funny.
Yeah. No, it is. I remember her saying that too, actually.
So, I do
not remember hearing that. That's so funny.
So good. So good.
So following this reward challenge, obviously our losers went back to camp, no reward for them, bunch of losers. they were kind of still just talking about the whole Q being a villain thing. At least Ben was. Liz was pissed. But so what I'm interested in here is really what was happening at the sanctuary, because obviously we talked about how Q was well within his rights to bring Tiffany and Kenzie, and of course Maria. He obviously thought that was the best move for his game. Do we think that was his best move, though? Because we saw them go, they got their food, they were having a conversation, whatever. As soon as Q stepped away, I think when Q was there, they were, their game conversation revolved around maybe targeting Liz or Venus next. But as soon as Q left, Tiffany and Kenzie immediately signaled that they were not buying into any accused bullshit. Like, was this sort of a waste? Like, you were never going to be able to break through to Tiffany and Kenzie anyway? Like, would it have been smarter to pull in Maria and maybe Charlie and then someone else? I don't know. Like, any thoughts just on the whole talk they had at the sanctuary and just anything they got into there game-wise?
I do wonder if there was a right answer.
Right. I'm sitting here thinking, what is the better combination?
Mhm.
I don't really know that there is one.
Because Maria in particular, I feel like is more so pulling him as a number for her. If he asks her to be a number for him, I don't know that that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it make sense to try to pull both Maria and Charlie then, knowing how closely they work, to maybe try to build something, get Charlie involved? Maybe, like, I feel like right now Charlie is only working with Q by extension of Maria. Whereas
Right.
maybe bringing them to the sanctuary, you can kind of build a relationship with the two of them. I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of throwing
who would the
random
third
things out
person
there.
who would the third person be, though, in that situation? Maria, Charlie, and then who else would you try to bring into that?
I mean, maybe one of the other two Janus, or it would have to be Liz and Venus, or Ben. Maybe Ben. The three
Maybe Ben.
Segas.
I guess
The three
that's
Segas.
the only possible one. Because otherwise, I don't know that Maria and Charlie would want to be working with anyone else. Certainly not to form a new alliance that Q is a major player in now.
Right.
Um,
Maybe if he was like, I'll bring in the three Segas. That's my four. Me and the Segas. I don't know. I still don't know if that helps him much, but
yeah, I don't know if that helps either. I mean, you'd just be on the bottom of that because they are three Segas. Yeah, I think he was in a lose-lose here. Maybe his best shot was the Tiff and Kenzie, because at least they had something once before. Maybe you thought this is a way to just rekindle that.
yeah.
I think it's too far gone, but
Yeah. It's just a weird thing. It's just weird to talk about him in this way, because it's like we're talking about Q. There was nothing he could do. There was no one he could pick. Meanwhile, he survived not only this this tribal council that we're getting ready to talk about, but the two before it.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, he's always on his way out, but he's like, you can't kill. He's like a roach. You just can't kill him.
It's unbelievable.
watch him win. Watch him win.
I would lose my mind.
Watch him win. Just because, like, once you get to a certain point, like, I kept saying, "Get me out of here." You don't do it. You try to get me out, it still doesn't work, and I'm still here. So what else do I have to say? I'm here. You're not. Like, that's
It's
literally
also
his whole game.
I know we've talked about this plenty of times before, but it's like, I feel like he was the loudest one talking about, like, we got to get rid of Banu. This man is nothing but chaos. And he's doing all the same shit. And somehow he's surviving. I don't understand.
Right.
I remember, like, when he was talking about how, like, he didn't want to just come in and play the game and do well, but he wants to change how the game is played. And I'm still trying to figure out, like, what he was actually trying to do.
He's showing us. This is the new way. Pure chaos and unpredictability.
This is the strategy. This is the new championship strategy.
Honestly, I love that for him.
This is it. It's make everyone hate you and want to vote you out.
So far, so good.
And so far, he's 3 for 3. Yeah, he's 3 for 3. So yes, as we mentioned, I think was it Frank that put up a comment here? Let's applaud production. Yeah, because at the end of this reward, no burgers were eaten after the extensive meal that they were given. Anything else before we move on from the reward and the sanctuary?
No.
Okay. All right. So obviously our reward winners or receivers got back to camp. Everybody was playing nice, including Liz. But we know what was really going on in that brain of hers. And that's my first clip that I want to share with you guys tonight. Because Liz was not happy with how, everyone was coming back talking about how great the milkshakes were and how they were so full they couldn't even touch the burger. And oh my God, it was crazy.
I couldn't even eat the burger. I'm lactose intolerant, but I ate the milkshake anyway.
I am taking it to the grave. Never would I tell her that.
That was...
Yeah, I don't know why you have to mention those things, because it does feel like you're just throwing it in her face. And everyone else is, not even just her, like literally everyone.
But like they just like so freely volunteered that information. Like, yeah, no, it was so good. Honestly, I didn't even eat the burger because everything was so much food. I was like, she's sitting right there. She's right there.
Brought a burger out and just sat there. She just
had a mental breakdown about that burger that you are now saying you threw in the garbage rather than let her eat.
Yep.
Yeah, not nice.
But yeah, so this kind of took us into, obviously, Maria and Charlie wanted to get back on the same page. They had been separated for some time, with Maria being at the sanctuary. So once she got back to camp, she obviously wanted to talk about, what was said at the sanctuary with Charlie. She wanted to, discuss that with him. So they went off and they mentioned, Maria mentioned to him about how Q wanted to target Liz or Venus, but that Tiffany and Kenzie still wanted to go after Q. Meanwhile, Maria and Charlie were still had their hearts set on blindsiding Tiffany. So that's where everybody was, the different sides were sort of at before we got into the immunity challenge, which was one that we have seen before, right? This was when each player had to now stand on this platform and hold up a bucket containing 25% of their starting body weight. So they've all obviously lost a considerable amount of weight. So this was 25% of whatever they came in at. Now we did get the offer of rice once again here, which, okay, not to get totally sidetracked, but just going back to Liz's blow up here, right? Because I saw a lot of people obviously talking about how like entitled Liz came off. Do you give Liz any credit in the fact that like she did sit out of that other, she had tried to sit out of the other challenge, her and Q, right? To try to get the rice when they needed 4 people to sit out. It didn't happen. Now she doesn't get picked for the reward challenge. Now again, chance to, sit out for rice, and she steps forward to do so. Does that help her in any way in all this craziness, or does the argument still say the same?
What does that help?
Well, she's trying to get rice for the whole tribe. She can eat rice.
Yeah, because she can eat it.
Well, They can all eat it.
So what credit is she supposed to get for this?
I don't know that was like a selfless act that she did to get rice for her tribe. She was like, this is one of the few things I can eat. So yeah, I'm going to sit out to get it. Who's coming with me?
I'm just saying too, because during that first time, Q was pissed at everybody. You really think you're gonna beat hunters hanging on this wooden pole or whatever? Like, he was pissed about it too, that the whole tribe didn't have rice as a result of this. Liz was willing to step up.
I think it's different.
Just throwing it out there.
No, I hear you, but I think it's different when like she's stepping up because it's the only thing she can eat. Like, she's not just
why does she get any?
I'm doing this for us. No, she's doing it for her. She's like, I need some calories, mama.
Right?
I don't disagree.
You also step forward. I mean,
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He stepped.
You don't give him anything.
Very angry. He was very angry about it, though, that no one else did. Listen. I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm just saying in this talk about food and Liz eating or not eating, we did see her as one of the only people that has stepped forward in both of these challenges to try to get rice for what would last the entire game for the whole tribe. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
I will say, I think the amendment to this deal was specifically because of her freak out.
Yeah, so Jeff threw in the twist that if we didn't get 4 people to sit out, or we didn't get 2 people, giving away their votes, that you could have your own individual portion. 1 jar of rice for yourself if you chose to sit out. And I thought it was funny that we got in the beginning of this, Kenzie stepped out first, then Liz. And then as soon as Jeff was like, well, if you want to be the only person to sit out, you can have this jar. And Kenzie was like, okay, I'm going to play.
Yeah, forget it. I don't need that little bit of rice. But honestly,
She was like, I don't want this smoke. Take
yes,
it.
and they offered that little bit of rice because of her flip out. Like
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, there's never been some mason jar of rice.
No, that's what I'm
So,
saying.
like,
They amended this specifically because she lost her shit, and they were like, we have
Right.
to get this girl some rice.
right. So like, please, like, she won as much as she could have in this situation. She fine.
Yeah.
I had a feeling bad for her.
This challenge went pretty quick though. By the 6-minute mark, we were already down to 5 people left. They were Q, Kenzie, Maria, Tiffany, and Charlie. I think that Jeff said that the record for this competition was 38 minutes, achieved by Mr. Gabler, right? And this came down to a good showdown. It was interesting because we saw Q drop, and it was pretty quick after that it was Kenzie and Maria both out quick. This brought us down to Tiffany and Charlie for a showdown, and it looked like Charlie was the only person struggling until out of nowhere, Tiffany just dropped.
Literally out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
And this Charlie got his, was this his second straight immunity challenge win, right? Second straight.
I thought third. No.
I thought it was. I did think it was third.
Is it third? It might
I mean,
be.
I could be wrong. Oh, jeez.
I think it was at least his second straight in like second.
Definitely
in a row,
second, but I
mean.
almost feel like it was third. I don't know why I think that though. I don't know.
Sorry.
Yeah, other than the last one was with Hunter.
For sure, second.
I don't know, because how many other single immunity challenges have there been? Right? Because like we even.
Well, maybe it wasn't third because Hunter was there.
Yeah.
Maybe
I feel
it
like
was just
Hunter
the
won
second.
the only, because I almost feel like Hunter, since we've gotten to merge, right? I think the first immunity challenge was when Maria and Kenzie won because they were separated into 2. And then the next one after that, wasn't that when they broke up into groups of 3? Like that last one that.
I don't remember.
I think that Charlie's
remember.
only won 2. I think he's only won 2, but won 2 in a row now.
Yeah.
But okay, so good job, Charlie. Which, by the way, Venus is looking more and more correct as the day goes by. Just by the way, because everyone was voting Mariah out weeks ago, and she was like, "Mariah, why don't we go after like
Right.
Charlie or something?" And everybody was like, "No, get the hell out of here, Venus, you idiot!" And now Mariah's gone, and Charlie is just winning back to back.
I'm just glad because last week I lost the biggest breadwinner for my team in terms of points, and now Charlie is coming through for me. So I'm very appreciative that he won this immunity challenge.
Yeah,
Team
he's
Teddy is
great.
done.
No, you guys still got a shot.
I mean, according to Mikey, you still got the winner pick. So
Yeah.
Well, I just mean for our point system, I'm out.
unless she wins.
Oh, right. We have to look at the numbers. I don't know. It may not be enough.
Yeah. All right. So this brought us back to camp. Charlie's got immunity. And Tiffany, I was very surprised to see Tiffany saying right off the bat that she thought she could get away without using her immunity idol in this upcoming tribal council. She felt like everyone was so distracted by Q and everything going on there that she'd be safe to not use her immunity idol. And I wish that she had thought the opposite way.
It's just, you just saw what happened to Hunter. Why would you risk it? It just happened yesterday.
Yeah. And this, it was interesting because obviously Kenzie had approached Maria and Charlie about blindsiding Tiffany, but after this immunity challenge, it seemed like Kenzie was actually having some second thoughts about it, because when Maria approached her about it again, Kenzie was kind of coming off being like, I don't know if it's the right time. I don't know if this is the move to make now. I'm just worried about that idol. Like, what if we vote for her and then she plays it? Like, we're all going to be screwed. So Kenzie was getting nervous. And now this made Maria feel the need to sort of like recalibrate, readjust everything. So obviously it's Maria and Charlie. They had already pulled in Q. They felt confident about pulling Ben in, who they did get. And then it came down to who do we get to be that fifth vote, either Liz or Venus. Maria did not look interested in trying to get either one of them, but didn't have a choice. And Charlie felt that the best choice to go for, though, would be to get Liz's vote. And hey, apparently she pulled it off because we got to Tribal Council and Tiffany was voted out 5-3 without playing her idol.
Tough watch.
Oh,
Really
yeah,
tough
this
watch.
really sucked. Did you see Kenzie almost set herself on fire?
I did.
Are you okay? God. Yeah. Are you okay? Yeah.
It's on fire. Did you burn your hair?
Yeah, my hair.
I was like, what the hell? is
No,
going on?
I
You
did
missed
not
that?
notice that. I did miss that.
Wow.
I
Was that on their
in that-
entrance?
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed
That's
Tiffany
probably
put her. Yeah, they showed Tiffany put her. Oh my God,
Torch.
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 Ooh.
They showed Tiffany putting her torch in the ground first, and then it went to Kenzie, and it was like kind of like a rough. Like she must have hit the edge going in or something, and it was just like a shower. I got so nervous because I actually have a story about one time I had to put my sister's hair out. It was on fire.
Oh.
Yeah, I was out with some friends at a bar, and my sister was there with some of her friends. And this bar liked to put these little candles out all over the place.
Oh,
And my
no.
sister was standing somewhere against the wall, and the bottom of her hair got lit on fire. And I had been standing outside, and I literally saw my sister go running out the door of the bar, and her hair was on fire. And I literally grabbed her. I brought her into the bathroom, stuck her head in the sink, and put the water on. And so I had like a flashback. I was like, I'm about to watch Kenzie's hair like burn off on this show. I was freaking out.
No.
When you
Very
said
scary.
like my hair is on fire, it reminded me of I had a regional manager years ago. This is what she would say if the line was like too long and it wasn't moving fast enough. She's like, come on, my hair's on fire, right? And then
Why
she would-
was that?
I don't know. It's just it's something I've used for years because I
my
always thought it
gosh.
was so silly. So she would come and visit you in the branch and like just after like the line was long, she would just
Wait, this guy.
Oh. Hi, Mary. I'm sorry. I love
that's
you,
so
Mary.
funny.
that's hysterical.
I love you.
Sorry,
Yeah,
girl. Sorry, girl.
that's my sister that whose hair was on fire. So now you know it's a true story.
There you go.
God.
I wasn't making it up.
Verified.
Yeah,
Verified.
I wasn't making it up.
Oh
God.
wow.
What a tangent.
I always like I never know when Mary is watching or not. Like she watches us a lot. She definitely supports us, but like I don't always know, and because she doesn't always comment. So like I didn't realize it was traumatic. I'm so glad I was there though.
Well, she
So, like, the
probably
best-
literally heard you like in the house.
No. But I mean, I'm just glad I was there because I felt like a good big brother.
Oh.
Every big brother should be there when his little
When his
sister's
sister
hair
gets
gets
her
set
hair
on fire.
Yeah.
Always watching. Thanks, Mary. Love you.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
also congratulations to Mary Kate because she has been working super hard, taking these 2 classes, getting these certifications. Went back to school for the first time for like years, and she just finished her finals this past week.
Hell
So
yeah.
congratulations,
Yay.
Mary. She's such a badass. She's way smarter and more talented than I am. So
So putting
Love
yourself
Mary Kate.
down. It's a positive.
I love
house.
Mary. But okay. All right. Let's is that it? Did we talk about everything? Was there anything? Well, we didn't really talk about tribal council. I felt like compared to the other tribal councils,
Yeah, I
this
feel
was
like there
more of the
wasn't a
same,
ton
kind of boring,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, there
Uh,
wasn't much here. There wasn't much.
What do you think of? I feel like Kendra and Kelly were giving us such great jury reactions last season, whereas it feels like Tevin, Soda, and Hunter so far really haven't been giving us like
Just kinda
anything.
Nothing. Nothing.
Well, do you like that better, or do you like the big reactions?
No,
think
I like
it's
the
a-
big reactions.
It
I don't
depends on
know.
what's
It's
happening. Like
so-
if people are like making big cartoony reactions to a lame ass tribal council, I'm like, all right, I'm trying to get on TV. But like if shit's going down, I want people to be like, all right, it's happening. Like,
No,
because
every
I would
time-
be there with my popcorn, like, okay.
No, every time they cut to the juries, It's like, well, I don't even need to see that then. Like,
I know. The only time that they showed the jury and anything was really going on was when Tiffany got voted out, and Soda turned to Tevin and just whispered to him she had an idol, just I guess to tell him like, oh, like they made that move, she had an idol. So it's interesting too, because like I'm sure they're gonna want to ask Tiff like who pulled that move off, and I don't even think Tiff knows. Like there's no one even in there, right, to like tell Tiffany like, oh, or like to tell, you know, Soda and Tevin and them that like, oh my God, Maria pulled this huge move off. So
right.
I don't know. That's what I feel like every move so far this season, no one knows who's really pulled it off. It's very weird, right?
Yeah.
So the end.
Yeah, everybody's final pitches and their arguments, right?
Yeah, explaining some things, because also everyone thinks their moves were theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
right, it's not even like trying to claim them, but like they all genuinely believe they did it.
right.
Right.
So that final tribal is going to be wild. Like, what are you talking about? That's literally my speech. Like, I can't wait.
Yeah. Which is exciting to think about, considering like how down we were on the show when the season started. And even now, like, it's still not my favorite season. I think it's getting better. You know, like there are things to watch that I think are interesting, but could be a very exciting ending though. What did you think of Q's vote? He voted for Tiffany and then on the side just wrote, Yanu no more.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, that was cute. I mean, it hadn't been for some time though. He just didn't really. I don't think he fully understood that, but yeah.
Okay, and then the next on. I wrote 3 notes for the next on. One of them I'm very interested in. So the first one, I am interested in this, but not quite as interested as my main one. People, it seems, are starting to see
in
Maria.
Order of interest.
Well, if we're gonna do that, I should start with this one. Q drama continues. No, don't care about that at all. But people keep talking about Q. He keeps laughing and saying, "I don't feel guilty." All right. Next one. People maybe seeing Maria as some sort of villain. I forget who it was now, but someone in the next on was like, "Man, Maria, how quickly you go from being a hero to a villain." So, see what happens there. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Mama Maria in truppies.
Last thing is Idol Hunt. Here's why I'm so interested in this, is that it seems like Tiffany leaving with the idol has sparked everyone to now go on an idol hunt, because it must be back in the game, right? Everyone was sure. Now, Hunter claimed to have an idol, but people weren't as sure. Once he left, you didn't see them go running off. Would stand to reason that his idol got put out there too, right? Then you think about the Sega idol, which was only in play for like 12 hours because Jem found it right before Tribal and then left with it. Which
oh my God, there were 3 people
her idol has
who left with idols.
So 3 idols found, none of them played. Jem's idol has probably been out there hidden on the beach somewhere for days. Hunter's probably been out there for a little while. So we're going to see the whole tribe, it looks like, go on an idol hunt, potentially with 3 of them being found, which
I don't
makes
think
things.
There'll be 3 out there.
I mean, why not?
Because all that happened before merge. Like, I don't think we've ever had like a post-merge.
Only Gems was before merge.
Yeah, though. Only Gems.
No, but like, yeah, but I don't see 3. I also don't even know that I see 2. I would put my money on just 1 going back out there because of the amount of people left.
I think that's lame, though. We haven't had a single idol played. We haven't had a single idol played yet.
I mean, I certainly think maybe an argument for 2. I think 3 is an excess. I think that's very wishful thinking.
Yeah, I don't know if they would put back the one that was pre-merge. I just totally forgot that there were literally 3 people this season that left with an idol in their pocket.
I still think it's possible. I mean, you just lay out the same rules.
I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah,
I mean, how many people
get down
to
7? Let's see. Who do we have?
Yes, 7.
7. See, I just feel like
I would think that's lame. That's potentially almost half the people that are there that would be safe.
And that's fair. That's fair. But I think it depends on how they're found. If they're found and nobody tells them about it, now you have people making plans. and you might have a backup, but you don't know that this person also has an idol. I think it could make things crazy. And if it's the same rules of like, oh, you have to use this, you can only use this until you get down to final 5 or whatever. Like, I think you can see some really chaotic tribal councils. So maybe it's not 3, maybe it's 2. I wouldn't mind if it is more than 1 though. If it's 2 or 3.
Well, my vote is I can only go as far as 2. You lost me.
Yeah, I don't think the pre-merge idol is gonna come back.
I don't know though.
Frank, I do want I want to see Q find
Oh
out.
God,
That'd be very fun.
I just feel like for the Sega tribe, if their idol was out there, as far as they're concerned, it might have been that no one ever found it. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody from production had just hid an idol out there from the start of merge, and it's just been sitting there. And then the second that Hunter leaves without his idol, if somebody goes and plants it, well, now there's just automatically 2 idols out there. And now obviously Tiffany. So, I mean, do you think that they hide an idol out there, and if nobody finds it in 2 weeks, they just go and get it and then take it away? You know what I mean?
They just don't put a new one out because Tiffany went out. You just leave what was there.
Oh, so you think
you
if
weren't
Gems
looking before, now they're just you go find them. They're still there.
If Gems was there, that's the one that they're going to find.
I just don't think that Gems is there.
Right. All right. Guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they don't usually. I feel like they don't usually put out the pre-merge ones again. I feel like it's usually after merge.
That's what they're doing, but that's what they're doing with Tiffany and Hunters if they do it, because they got pre-merge.
Yes, I'm saying the pre-merge. That I feel like if an idol is used in the pre-merge, it doesn't go back out. I feel like that only happens post-merge, unless I'm mistaken. But I'm not talking about when they found the idol. I just feel like if an idol is used pre-merge or exits pre-merge, they don't usually hide it, right?
I honestly have no idea.
And I don't remember. I just don't remember going into things with 3 unless it was found pre-merge and then you went into merge with it. But if that were the case, we didn't have a rotating 3.
Right. See, the reason why I would think that Gems, even though it was technically pre-merge or whatever, and it was so early on, I feel like the reason that I would expect that idol to be placed back out on the island somewhere is because at this point, no one else in Sika has even had a chance to find another idol. You know what I mean? They got led on that wild goose chase. For them, they're probably like, where the hell are all the idols this season?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just an interesting thought that I had. The fact, I might be completely wrong. There might just be one idol out there, and that's the end of it. But it's just interesting to me that we got 3 idols that were all found pre-merge. None of them were used. All those players left, walked with the idol in their pocket, and now we see people going on idol hunt. So that makes me think maybe there's 1, but could there be 2? Could there be 3? Could this turn into fucking chaos? And that's why I brought it up. So yeah.
All right.
And Frank here also saying there are 7 and idols expire 5, so only 1 will return. So, but all right. I think that's all I have for this episode. Do you guys have anything else?
I did think the numbers there. No, I think I'm satisfied.
Only if we feel so inclined to bring up the team totals, but when Mikey's not here, we never know what the hell we're looking at. So.
No, of course. I just meant, but before we get into that, So sadly, Kyle did lose Tiffany in this episode, so he is left with Kenzie. Kenzie Petty.
Petty.
So
come on, girl.
I'm still at 2. Venus and Q. I thought Q was gone weeks ago, and here he is. And then, of course, Gina still with Charlie and Maria. Charia.
You guys are doing great.
To
be at this stage and still have half your team, that's great.
Yeah, and Mikey. Sorry, Mikey.
Poor Mikey.
All right, let's pull up this point chart. So, let's see. Well, Liz you get points for crying, right? So Liz definitely did some work in this one, which I think is why you guys won the battle of the unwanted draft picks this week.
We sure did.
Yeah. Ben and Liz, battle of the unwanteds. All right, who was the team winner? Team Morgino took out the win this week. 33 points, yeah. Team Dunphy in second place with 22 points. Team Petty with 9. Team Marmon with a goose egg, 0.
Sorry, babe.
But Team Petty Marmon with 16.5 points for Liz and her performance, and Team Morgino Dunphy got 10 points for Ben. He really has quieted down lately. You know, he was kind of like one of those center of attentions, I feel like, on Sega between his song battles with Charlie. Yeah. It feels like since like the merge happened, he hasn't had as much airtime, you know? So, but the episode 10 Castaway total. So Charlie got 18 here, Liz with 16.5, Q with 15, and Maria with 15. Top 3, 4 there. All right. Tiffany, Jesus, -2. Wow.
Such an embarrassment.
Team Morgino got another win. Man,
Yeah,
I've only had
I
one
did.
win this season.
That's what I'm saying. It's starting to get away.
Yeah. Team Petty Marmon. This is, I think, so you guys have gotten more episode wins in the in your, you know, with your team with the battle of the unwanted draft picks. But this is the first time that I think you guys actually jumped us. So you're actually above us now, both in wins and in total points, with 99.5 for the season, and Gina and I sitting at 97. So hey, you guys are winning the battle of the unwanted draft picks.
That little mentee bee did you guys good.
Sure,
Yeah.
Served us nice. Served us real nice.
Yeah. And then these are the season totals for everybody. Man, when you look at this, right? Kenzie, 122.5 points all the way at the top. And then you look at Jess with 4.
Oh, well, leave her alone. She was on for a episode.
No, I love
I
Jess.
forgot who she even
Jelinski
was.
with 0.5, though. Jelinski with 0.5.
Oh, she's on
I
for
had to
2
take
episodes.
the,
That's right.
yeah, I had to take the ticker away to make sure. Can't forget about the legend, Jelinski.
Oh, of course.
I did. I had completely forgotten about him. I thought Jess was first one out.
I literally said she was here for a episode.
Listen, there are several reasons that I will never forget about Jelinski.
Oh, he's never gonna live that down, poor guy.
No.
Last
I'm surprised
I
she hasn't made
checked-
merch yet.
Yeah. Last I checked, several means 7. He said it so confidently, you know? But
I wonder if he does have merch. We just don't know it.
he could.
I have to look.
You know who
him.
does have merch?
Who?
Monday.
No, it doesn't.
That was perfect.
I know, right? I know. All right. Well, does anybody have anything else for the benefit of the community regarding Survivor 46, or maybe anything else you'd like to talk about before we wrap up here?
I don't believe so.
No, I think I'm satisfied on this one. I'm satisfied.
Yeah. I just want to mention our friend Brett from the Reality Guys here says Jelinski is a legend, but so is W, and then responds by correcting it with Q.
I was like, W.
Yeah, when I saw it, I looked down. I said, "Oh, I see what happened here."
I see what you've done.
And for that reason, I wasn't going to put it on the screen. And John was like, "Nope, hell with that." Bang bang.
Well, I saw, you know what it was? I saw Reality Guys pop up, and I said, "Hey,
Yeah,
we know that. We know them."
that's nice. That's nice.
All right. Well, what do we have coming up? Right? We're not done this week. No, we are not, because this Thursday, right? Oh, now is this finale week, right, for BP Can 12?
It sure is.
Mhm.
It
So is
sure
anything
is.
different for our schedule, or it'll stay the same, right? Because we're Thursday, show
Yeah,
will be over.
there's no reason for it to change.
So,
yeah,
All right.
it's ending on Wednesday.
Very good, very good. So
Mhm.
everybody, make sure you check out the final week of BB Can 12 so you can watch our recap. But before we do our recap of BB Can 12 on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time Thursday, we'll be covering 2 episodes of the challenge
It's a double.
All Stars 4. Yeah. So that'll be 8 p.m. Eastern time. I was sick this past week, so Kyle and I are doubling up, talking 2 episodes of the Challenge All-Stars 4. And then at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll be discussing the finale of Big Brother Canada 12. Hopefully celebrating a Bailey win because we love Bailey and we love that booty.
Oh my
All right.
god.
What?
Not why
I don't know what
we
you're
love
talking
her.
about. No, I mean, no.
It doesn't
It's one
hurt.
of the, yeah, it's just one of the
Yeah.
things that I love. Sorry, she's got a nice booty. But
Also,
anyway, that's what we have coming on. So Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, Challenge All Stars 4, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, Big Brother Canada 12. Gina's got much better things to do, so she won't be with us.
I'm going
All
to
right.
Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee. All right. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. We are Strat Chat, your favorite reality TV podcast. Find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod. We're on all of the reality TV. We're on all the social media platforms. What's wrong with me tonight? We're on all the social media platforms. Find us. Throw us a like, a comment, a subscription, a follow, all those fun things. Go to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and leave us a really nice review. We'd really appreciate it. And that's it. We're out of here.
Lido, Lido, Lido.